This is a video for how to go about creating a drawing of an assembly with balloons and a parts list in Autodesk Fusion. You'll notice on the screen that I have an assembly of a chair that I've created, and you can see it looks kind of like a typical, in a way, kind of like a typical school chair. It rotates, and it also has, 5 little legs on it, and it's got some wheels on the bottom. Now, in Fusion, the way that we know that we are in an assembly is we can look at the browser, and you can see up here at the top where this icon is at the top. That's an assembly icon, and all the other icons underneath it, right over in this area here, these are all component icons. So I have multiple components that are apprising an assembly. Now, if you see that assembly icon anywhere in here, that would mean that you have sub-assemblies within the assembly. So that can sometimes create an issue when you go in to create drawings and do some different things. So we're going to go in and create a drawing of this assembly. So we're going to go to Design, and I'm going to go to Drawing and go to From Design. And when we see the Create Drawing menu, there's different options that you can utilize. There's a thing that says full assembly, visible only, and some selections. We're going to do one of a full assembly. We want a new drawing, and I'm going to put this on a template. Now, I have a template created called my PLTW title block. If you're watching the video and you don't have like a template created, you can just use a standard one, and there's all different types you can use. You can get your units and your sheet size. So if you wanted this to be more of a landscape, you can actually go in. If you want to change this to portrait, you can switch it. But just for the sake of the video, I'm going to go in and use my title block. Again, you can go in and use whatever you want, and I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And when I say OK, you're going to see the drawing template that I've created load. And there's another video I have on my YouTube channel that shows how to go about creating a template all your own. I always recommend to people that you can create a template that works for you. You can see that down at the bottom here, you can see it has my name, and once I place it, it'll have the project, and there's a lot of different things that it pulls from. Now, I want to have myself an isometric view when I place the chair. So I'm going to go over to front, and I'm going to go down to northeast isometric, and that gives the view of the chair that I want. Now I'm going to click and place that, and I'm also going to go over to scale, and I'm going to scale this up to where it fits, a good size of the paper. If I went up to a 1:5 scale, that would be too big. So I'm just going to keep it at a 1:8 scale, and I want this to be in color. So I'm going to make sure I click shaded. Don't click shaded with hidden lines. I just want this to be shaded, and we're going to go ahead and say OK. And we have for ourselves our assembly sitting on the drawing sheet. Now I want to get myself something known as a parts list that will go into the browser, let's say here, and it'll read all the names I have given all of my components that you see here. Notice I'm not using the word parts, I'm just calling them components because we create new components in Fusion. So to get that parts list, I'm going to go to Table, and I'm going to go to Parts List. And you're going to see I get this kind of, spreadsheet looking thing here, and I'm going to snap this up here to the top. And automatically it is giving me all the names that I have, and also gives me all the materials that I created this out of. So when I go back into here, you can see the names of everything where it says like wheel base. Notice it's not going to give me 5 wheel bases. It's just going to give me that once because I have that 5 times. So see where it says quantity 5 here? It's going to say that's item number 3, and it actually is pointing to it. Now, what's neat about balloons is I can drag these wherever I want. I can hold down and drag these out to the edge. A good habit to get into when you use balloons is always have them touch the edge of the object. Don't have them go through the object, just have them touch the edge. So I like to kind of snap these into place. If ones are going across, like I can kind of see this one right here going across, I say, you know what, I'm going to bring this over here to this side, and I'm going to drag this balloon over to here so it's pointing right at it. I want the tip of that arrow pointing right on the edge of the object. I can drag this one down here, drag it wherever you wish. And just so I can actually see this, so this is no different than if you went out and bought a table somewhere and you had a document showing you how to put that table together. This is something that we would see. Now I have part numbers and materials, and you might have got some different things when you had your parts list be placed. Once you drag over your parts list, you can see it kind of highlight. I could double click, and you're going to see the parts list menu come open, and we can go in and change, whatever we want with the part. Like we can, let's click mass here, and notice it's going to give us, the total amount of mass of the object. If I said, I don't want the part, and I don't want the part number, I just want the item and the quantity here, that's totally fine. I just have material and mass here. What if I want to get that back? I want to get the part name back. There's different things you can do with this. Now, I would recommend, obviously, you change the scale You can change the scale of your drawing if you want a larger parts list. You could also increase the sheet of paper. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. If you wanted to increase the size of the paper, if you're printing on a larger printer, you could change that as well. Now, for the sake of what we have here, I'm just going to go ahead and just keep the part number in here because that's what I named it, and I'm going to take away mass. But what if I change the material? Like, what if I want to go in and say, you know what, actually, the back of the chair, I just chose random materials, was made out of bamboo. So what if I want to change that and update the drawing? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back into our design, and I want to go find the back. And in order to edit a part, we want to go into, the component. I want to go back into the component, and I'm going to click here, and I now have my component. I'm going to go to Modify, and I want to go down to Physical Material. When I go into physical material, you can see how this really looks like bamboo. Now I painted over that bamboo red, so when you saw the drawing, you saw red, but I want to change that. So let's just say, for the sake of discussion here, I'm just going to say the back's made out of aluminum. Just for the sake of the video, I'm just picking a random, just a totally random material. And I'm going to come back up to our main assembly, and I'm going to highlight this bubble right here, and we're back in our main assembly. Notice the appearance is red, but the material is aluminum. Now we have to go up and say Save. We're going to go ahead and save the assembly, and we'll go back to our drawing, and notice up here there is a link icon and it says reference. I'm going to click on that reference, and notice the back now material has updated to aluminum. So the parts list will always read whatever you have done with your design, but you have to save and you have to go back and update that drawing. So if you have a template, notice how the bottom it kind of has my name here. It doesn't have the name of the project here, but it does have the name of the chair. It has the name of the chair I called it, and because I did some stuff with generative design with this at another time, has the scale and even has the date that I'm making this drawing. So to create drawings of assemblies, there's a lot of powerful information that you have within Fusion to create really, really, really good drawings that communicate a lot. And there's, a lot of information you can include in this parts list. So if you want to make a more robust design or a more robust parts list, I recommend putting on a larger sheet of paper, and then maybe you can scale that to whatever printer you might have. So this has been a video for how to go about creating a drawing of an assembly with balloons in a parts list, and also how to go about editing that assembly and updating your parts list in Autodesk Fusion.